All right, this is a little drill for, well, this drill is for the press, and it's not necessarily an exercise that you would do in a program as the only way to train the press. It's more of a movement that teaches how to press, if that makes sense. It's an isometric drill, and it allows you to find the groove of where the press needs to go, and it allows you to move around the body and find the most optimal alignment. So it's more of a teaching what needs to happen drill than just an exercise unto itself. All right, so I'm standing here in a door frame. I'm going to straighten my legs. You don't have to show. Straighten my legs, squeeze the thighs. I'm going to squeeze the butt. These two things are important in presses. That's not to say that these things don't apply to a push press where the legs don't start from straight. But we start with leg straight, butt squeezed. Then I put my arm into the door frame. Let's see if it will hold. And then the point of the exercise is I'm going to push into the door frame, push, push, push. And then I'm just going to a little bit play with the alignment of my torso, my shoulder as I squeeze. And then relax again. Try not to hold the breath too much. So if you do for longer than 5 or 10 seconds, blood pressure might rise. So a little bit more just like the shallow breathing kind of breathing pattern. And then the point is finding the place with the alignment of the arm. So now I'm going to exaggerate, like leaning to the side, which is not what we want, or exaggerate coming in. So you're trying to find the point, and for me it's probably somewhere here. And try also corkscrewing the elbow, and then you squeeze up again. Can also help thinking about pushing yourself into the ground rather than pushing into the door frame. And you squeeze for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax again. Obviously you repeat on the other side. It can also be good to do this in a mirror that gives visual feedback as well, if you have a mirror in front of the door frame. And I find that if you go then, afterwards you do your kettlebell press and you press, you will go through that sticking point, and that's perhaps the last thing to emphasize. It's better to do this kind of exercise at the point of the movement where you're the weakest. So for me in a press, this is where I struggle the most. Other people struggle down here, but here is where I struggle. So for me it would actually be ideal if I could find something immovable is a little bit lower. This door frame is a little bit high for what I'm aiming for. Nonetheless, the principle is the same. This is a general thing with isometrics. They're good for teaching one position, and they're not used very much at the moment, but they deserve a comeback. So find a door frame, practice the press, and see if you can find those parts of the body that's not contributing. So here you could play with squeezing the lat as well, if that's something that's not in your press. Yeah, so isometric door frame presses for, well, improving the press in general. Enjoy.